Welcome back to the Messianic Hour. I'm your host, Rabbi Scott. The show is dedicated to reaching the lost and educating the found. I want to encourage you to go to our website, rabbiscott.com. You can listen to past shows. Also, while you're there, sign up for our newsletter, and you can get a free book, I Have a Friend Who's Jewish, to you, and a prophecy card just for signing up. Our way of saying thank you. It's a great way of sharing your faith to your unsaved Jewish and Gentile friends. And while you're there, you can also plant a tree in Israel. What a great way to bless our ministry and bless the land, as you get a beautiful certificate honoring a special event, a memory of a lost person who passed away maybe, or honoring a special occasion, a birth, bar mitzvah, anything at all.
And as you know, we are a listener-supported radio show here.
That's right.
We exist off of, number one, your prayers, because that's what gets us through every week, and number two, your financial donations. And we know it's getting close to the end of the year, and we would appreciate if you would consider putting us on your year-end list for any financial donations. And also, we have a special going on. For any donation, you get the Book of John with the family Bible.
Living Family Bible, right.
So send your donation in, and we'd love to get this to you. The whole Bible is coming out soon. They've got the New Covenant done. They're working on the Torah and half Torah now, but it's a great family-oriented Bible. So if you would like to receive this, we would appreciate a donation, and for any amount, we'll send this out to you.
That's right. So, Judy, we were talking about the end of the year. We're talking about the feasts coming up. We talked last week about what holidays should we celebrate and why, and we talked about Thanksgiving, and while it's okay, matter of fact, where the origins come from, Sukkot. We talked about when to celebrate the birth of Messiah and how Messianic believers do it. What about Hanukkah? It's not a holiday that's mentioned by God. He doesn't tell us to do this, just like Purim. But do we have information that says it's okay to celebrate a man-made holiday that honors God?
Well, we know that the book of John is the only book that specifically mentions Hanukkah. Now, you're going, I've read this, and it doesn't say Hanukkah.
Because you can't spell it.
Well, that's another thing. But Hanukkah, the word Hanukkah actually means dedication.
Right.
So when you read in John, you're reading that Yeshua was in the courtyard at the Feast of Dedication.
Some translation will also say Feast of Lights, too, because it's also known the Festival of Lights.
And we know, in case you're wondering what is Hanukkah, it's, again, as you like to say, it's one of these festivals where they say they tried to kill us, we won, let's eat. It's a thoroughly Jewish festival because it's commemorating a very important Jewish victory over tyranny. The Maccabees, who were from a Levitical...
Right, he was one of the Levitical priests in the tribe.
Their family started the first guerrilla warfare against the Syrian army. As a result, were able to come back in, reclaim the temple, cleanse the temple, because we know that they had sacrificed pigs there, and went to reinstitute temple worship and sacrifices. And part of that is to light the menorah. Now, this is the 7-branch menorah that was found in the temple. Well, to do that, you have to have holy oil, that's been consecrated to Adonai.
And it takes 8 days to make this oil, and the story tells us that they only found one jar, which is enough to last pretty much 1 day. And they had to make a decision. Do you light it and let people know that you've retaken the land, taken Jerusalem and the temple, or do you wait the 8 days so you can continually keep it lit, which is what you were supposed to do? And what did they decide, Judy?
They decided it was much more important to light the menorah, to at least make the effort, than to not light it.
That's right.
The miracle of Hanukkah comes in is that they lit the menorah, and it stayed lit through those 8 days until new oil was procured. Now, as part of that, what's interesting is, this really happened about 160 years before the birth of Yeshua.
Right.
So, but we still see 163 plus years later, Yeshua is celebrating Hanukkah. So if it was not something that wasn't really kosher to do, we wouldn't have seen this mentioned, and we wouldn't see Yeshua.
And it's interesting where it says he was. It says he was in the courtyard of Solomon's temple. But yet, the temple that was in existence at the time was David, signifying that he was in the actual area where Solomon's temple still had been standing. That was the part of the the colonnade that remained. So it's interesting that not only is he celebrating it, but he's in the actual place in which it took place. And we know that his ministry was for 3 years. We see 3 different sermons talking about the light of the world. And so many people believe that these were the sermons that he did, the messages he did at Hanukkah. Great way to tie together.
Because part of Hanukkah is you light a Hanukkah menorah, and that one has 9 candle branches. Right. And it's all about light, and it's all about oil. And just to tie in your little, they tried to kill us, we won, let's eat, the food associated with Hanukkah are all foods fried in oil. It's
not good for the diet, but it's great for if you love sweets and potato latkes.
But what's interesting is it says that you're supposed to put your Hanukkah menorah in your window so everybody can see it lit. So think about all the scriptures about, let your light shine, don't hide it, a candle on a hill. A lot of these relate back to this Feast of Hanukkah. And again, knowing what the culture is, knowing the traditions, now really helps put that in play for you about what did this really mean? What was the symbolism of
and that's what I want to talk to you, because people probably said 7 candle menorahs, now we're talking about a 9 candle menorah. Why 9? Only the miracle happened for 8 days. Well, there's a 9th candle called the shamus, which means the servant candle, and it lights all the other candles. Yeshua, our Messiah, came as what? A servant, a shamus, to be a light unto the world. So we see the connection there on how he is the menorah. And many people believe that his conception actually took place on Hanukkah. And if you look at the dates, it works out perfectly. So we see how that all gets tied together and into it. Again, in a couple of weeks when we get back from Israel, we'll be talking more about the feast and the spiritual understanding of it. We just did a great teaching, though, at our website. You can go to rabbiscott.com. Under the congregational one, Judy, you did a teaching on the Hanukkah 101, how to celebrate it at home. We have Hanukkah menorahs on our website. You can go to messianicmarketplace.com or go right through our website and get your Hanukkah stuff all set to go, and it'll be ready for you to go and understand. We also have teachings about Hanukkah on our website under the Festivals of the Lord. So check out the website for a lot of information at rabbiscott.com. Judy, we got a couple minutes left, and there's a lot going on. We're hearing reports right now that Israel is on the verge of attacking Iran with their nuclear facilities. We've seen them do it before. Matter of fact, so 3 years ago, we were one of the first ones that reported that Israel, when they went and attacked into Syria, that plant, Bill Koenig and I said that was a nuclear site. We were right, and we were reporting on it. One of the first ones that you actually heard about it happening at that time. Would not be surprised to see Israel go in again. And with the situation that just happened with the French Prime Minister and our President, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear about it until after the fact. The tensions are still very high with this with the Obama administration. It didn't help this last week when the mic was left on and the French Prime Minister basically called Bibi a liar. Unfortunately, the French Prime Minister is listening too much to the Palestinians, and our president basically said, yeah, well, I have to work with them. That's not how you do when you have your number one supporter in the Middle East on your side. We need to show our love for Israel. That's what affects our country. When we bless Israel, we get blessed. When we curse Israel, we get cursed.
Well, and speaking of the Palestinians, we know that they have been trying to push in the UN get official recognition for statehood, but now it's coming out that they do not have enough support in the UN Security Council for this.
Well, it's close. And unless you're reading something quicker than I am.
I don't know.
We have still 9 countries that could vote in favor. There's a number that are abstaining, but there's 9 countries, and they are as follows. They are Brazil, India, Lebanon, South Africa, Russia, and China are expected to support the Palestinian position, as well as Nigeria, Gabon, and Bosnia, and another country, Herzegovina, are unclear. If one of those 4 say that they're not, then this will definitely be turned down. But you have the 9 right now still in play. Of course, the United States has said they will veto it. But what did you get?
Well, it's just interesting.
Well, actually, we're out of time.
Oh.
So we'll have to do it until next week. This is Rabbi Scott.
And Judy.
Saying shalom and pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
Well, there you go.
Wow.